Hi everyone, and how are you doing? It's also another beautiful day that I come to you so that we can be able to discuss great issues that pertain to us as human beings. As always, Psychologist Lillian is here to enlighten us, to help us understand our backgrounds as human beings, to also help us unpack who we are so that we can be able to relate with each other. For one to be able to relate with each other, they need to have, first of all, the intrapersonal relationship, get to know who they are, their temperaments, their personality traits, their own characteristics, so they can be able to relate with themselves well. And in return, they're able to relate with others well. So this time, I want us to discuss about temperaments. I know we have heard people talk about temperaments, throwing that word everywhere. I think it is their temperament that is making them behave like this. And that is why I want us maybe to discuss some of the temperaments and that revolve around human being. And basically, temperament is about the person that you are. It is what shapes the personality trait of a human being. It's more genetic. It is acquired when you're very young. Sometimes the psychologists say it remains constant in your life. It may be influenced, but most of the time does not change because it is what you acquire when you're very young. You grow with it, and it determines sometimes how you behave, how you respond, how you relate with people, and how you are able to deal with yourself even at that level. So basically, when we be talking about temperament, it's basically about the characteristics and the traits of a human being, and maybe later on we'll be able to see how they influence the way we live with other people as human beings. And I want to go direct to the first temperament. And the first temperament that I would want us to discuss is sanguine. Sanguine, sanguine, these are people who are very open, outgoing. We actually call them extroverts. People who are just jovial, very easy even to please, easy to relate with. You feel comfortable when you're around them because making a point to them becomes very easy. Most of the time they're not judgmental. They listen to you, they take anything you say, and they're able to relate with almost everyone. These are the sanguine. They are easy to please, just as I've said. Even gifting them is very easy because anything you bring to them, for them, it is good. And I'm happy. I'm excited about it. Thank you very much for thinking well of me. That is a sanguine. But of course, as we talk about their positive side, and of course they become very good leaders. And most of the time, because they're very talkative, you'll think they know everyone. Having a conversation with them is very easy. But all the same, they have some negative aspect of them in their lives. Because of being very outgoing, very jovial, and making contact with everyone, sometimes they have an issue on controlling their emotions. Sometimes they may say things that are not supposed to be said to the wrong people, at the wrong place, and most of the time they may actually offend people without their knowledge, just because they are very talkative, and sometimes they just talk and they are everywhere. They are also not very good in time management. Remember, we have said these people are very talkative and they create a relationship very easy. So most of the time, even when they are running a certain errand and they meet somebody, they may not be very time cautious. They are not very time conscious, and sometimes they may offend those people maybe they were going to meet with. They also get bored very easily. If you don't involve them in certain aspects, like now in a conversation, you're not referring to them, you're not asking them about some certain aspects. Sometimes they look like they are withdrawn, they look like they are very bored, out of space, because they want to get involved in every conversation and whatever is happening. And these people, because of that aspect of not being able to control their emotions, you may find sometimes they may fall into depression because they're not able to control their emotions and they're everywhere. They want to be noticed by everyone. And when you don't notice them, they get withdrawn, they feel out of space. And because of this, and for lack of proper emotional management, they may have mood swings, they may have mood disorders, and these may affect their performance as much as we are saying they're very good leaders. So these are the sanguine. So maybe we need to ask ourselves, who am I? What is my temperament? Do I have any trait of a sanguine? All the same, as we continue progressing in this discussion about our temperaments, you'll find you may be having different temperaments. But of course, as I said from the beginning, being assigned when you're very young, and almost like a genetic art takes precedent, and we'll continue discussing them as they are. Then at the end of it all, each one of us will be able to have a review. We'll also be able to have an evaluation and get to know maybe what is my temperament and what is this that influences me, the way I do things, the way I act, the way I think, the way I relate. So let us continue journeying together in this discussion as we continue unpacking these temperaments, as we continue understanding them and asking ourselves, where do I belong? What are these personality traits that I have? Because those temperaments, they influence who we are and what we even produce to the society. So continue following me, and especially in the YouTube, Psychologist Lillian Wairimu. Kindly share, subscribe, like, comment, so that we can continue journeying together, learn more about our temperament. Thank you for now. Wait for the next one as we continue.